Imagine you're a nurse or doctor using a medical device on a patient and you get this feeling. That's strange. Perhaps the device didn't do what you expected, or the patient had an odd reaction. What you've just noticed might be the first clue in preventing harm not just to this patient, but to many others. How? That clue could be a safety signal for a medical device. Today, let's talk about signal detection in medical device safety in plain language. First off, a safety signal is like a red flag. It's a hint that a medical device might have an unexpected problem or side effect. It could be something big, like a defibrillator wire breaking in several patients, or smaller, like an insulin pump that's delivering inconsistent doses. The key is, it's a pattern or trend that tells us we should look into this. Now, how are medical devices different from medicines when it comes to safety? When we take a pill, we worry about side effects in the body. Maybe it causes an upset stomach or something. But with a device, safety issues can include physical failures. Think of a hip implant that wears out too fast, or a monitor that freezes. Also, hospitals are actually required by law to report when devices might have caused harm. So if a device malfunctions and could have hurt someone, even if no one was hurt this time, that needs to be reported. That's a bit different from medications where we mostly report actual adverse effects. There are several ways we find out about device problems. One big way is through reporting systems. In the US, we have FDA's MAUDE database. Every time something goes wrong with a device, like it hurt a patient or malfunctioned, it can be reported there. FDA gets literally millions of these reports each year. It's like a giant inbox of device problem letters. They use computers and humans to sift through them for patterns. Say, lots of hospitals reporting the same model of infusion pump is acting up. Other countries have similar systems, and companies also keep track of every complaint that comes in about their products. Sometimes we actively collect data. For example, registries. Picture an online log that tracks everyone who gets a particular type of artificial knee. If one brand of knee replacement starts failing more often than others, that registry will show it. In fact, that's how a big issue with a metal-on-metal hip implant was discovered, by noticing higher failure rates in the data. Let's make it real with an example. The case of the breaking defibrillator wire. Medtronic had a heart device wire, lead, that was fracturing in some patients. Doctors reported it, and the company saw a pattern, more reports than expected. They analyzed it and realized it was a serious problem. Result: they issued a recall so no more were implanted and gave instructions for doctors on managing patients who already had it. Because those first doctors and patients spoke up, the issue was caught and addressed. Another example: a type of scope that caused infections. A few hospitals found that some patients were getting a rare infection after a certain procedure. One hospital might have thought, maybe it's our cleaning. But when multiple hospitals compared notes, they discovered the scopes had a design issue that made them hard to clean properly. That was reported up to FDA and the maker and led to a fix and new cleaning guidelines. Frontline healthcare teams connecting the dots saved future patients from infection. So what should you, as a clinician, watch out for? Keep an eye out for red flags. The same weird problem happening with a device more than once. Alarms that didn't alarm. Devices that are supposed to do X, but you see them doing Y. Or even patient complaints like, this implant hurts in a way I didn't expect. If your gut says, this is not normal, report it. Don't assume someone else will. After a potential problem is reported, experts will investigate. They'll ask, is this a real issue with the device, or maybe a use error? They might test the device, gather more info, and see how risky it is. If they confirm there's a real problem, say the device design is flawed, they'll take action. That could mean sending out a safety notice. Heads up, this pacemaker might do X, here's what to do, or even recalling the device to fix it or replace it. Regulators and manufacturers work together on this. But none of this can happen if the problem stays hidden. That's why you are crucial. The faster you report a suspicious device issue, the faster it can be investigated and fixed if needed. Think of it like a smoke alarm. You're noticing the smoke early so we can prevent a fire. In summary, signal detection in device safety is all about finding those early warning signs. By using reporting systems, data, and most importantly, our own clinical vigilance, we can catch device problems early and protect our patients. Every report matters, so next time you encounter a device problem, don't just sigh and work around it. Speak up. You might be the hero who sparks a safety improvement that helps patients everywhere.